say things that you only know to be true. The human body can process things that most people don't know are there. And I guess what I mean by the human body is based on an assumption that it's a requirement for perception. Herein lies the importance of the video. It could be such that we exist entangled with the body, but separate from it. No strings attached, you know what I'm saying? Except for the puppet marionette that you're controlling yourself with. So like, if you think about sight as a process of putting together signals from parts of your eyes that detect certain frequencies of vibration to create an image, where is that image? If you're a materialist and you believe that the body is what the human being is, then where in the hell is the image that your eyes are putting together to create what you're seeing right now? So I'm sitting there proving God's existence with triangles, when all of a sudden I realized that I could probably make a pretty cool video, and I came over here and I wanted to smoke another spliff. Oh God, a demonetization. This video is not going to get shown to anybody now. And think of some creative things and share them with people. But the number 3 is prime. 3 is prime time. And it's triangulation, it's awareness of position, and it's observation. First person you know what I mean? It's the strongest shape. Then I'm recounting the story of how I proved the existence of God in a different video when all of a sudden it started to sound like poetry. So only things that I know create an interesting philosophy. And I don't even know if I know that. So if you say things that you don't know for sure, you have to qualify them with that information so that they're not. And it brings up the question, what does it mean to know something? You can understand it before you put it into language, you know, but then you don't have the language to describe it on the spot when somebody says, do you understand this? So I guess it's all about math and geometry and algebra. Not real algebra, but numbers in the sense of, real numbers and symbolic meanings and infinity. Someone in the comments leave a cool equation that has infinity in it, if you don't mind. Then I'll shout out your YouTube channel. I'm pretending like I have a bunch of followers. The human body can perceive, back to the beginning of the video, things, or maybe the human soul, that are not physically contained within the measurable visual area of reference that is quote unquote in front of you. As in, you can't take a picture of it, even though it's right there. So it's weird to talk about. But yes, clinicians will call them hallucinations, but anyone who has them will just call them sacred patterns or geometry or you know, don't get me started on psychiatry. Fucking body farms. And so the question is how to get the person to a place where they can experience that. And we have to know where they're coming from, because like the second thing I mentioned is the human body intertwined with something that can perceive things that aren't physical, or does the body somehow contain the process of being able to perceive that? And fuck yes, because when we say hallucinations, I don't. But when they say hallucinations, what they're talking about are angels and gnomes and elves and entities and gods and shit. So, like, don't get me started on psychiatry. Awareness. So don't be embarrassed if you can't define awareness. How I do it is I say the ability to realize that something is happening. The fact that you know you're here. It comes and goes. No one is always aware all the time, especially not the default. People meditate for years to get to that point. But at the core of reality, it might be such that awareness is a requirement for anything to exist. As in, if a tree falls in the woods and no one is there to hear it, it definitely does not make a sound. Awareness is the observer in quantum physics that takes potential patterns and turns them into reality. Look no further than the double slit experiment. So this relationship between observer and observed is the beginning of the spiritual path. And treat the object of life as though it's your best friend, and it will be nice to you. You know? You have to realize that life itself is alive, and so are you. And you are it, but it is also the other end of polarity as you. As in, it's a physical object and you are a fluid being. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say.